Where was this kind of place when I was a young man? It seems like such a waste, the things I was doing. Now if it's Saturday night and you're lonesome and bored, I know a date you can always afford. Maybe what you're looking for is the Lord. Where can he be found? Solid grounds, you're welcome here. Solid grounds, come in and share the best music, Joe, and ministry around. Solid grounds, you're welcome here. Solid grounds, come in and share solid grounds.
Hey, welcome to Solid Grounds Coffee House, a 21-year outreach ministry of St. Stephen's United Methodist Church and the best listening venue in Albuquerque. Now, we want to be the best in the state. So we've embarked on this acoustical project, which is almost completed. With phase one, we hang sound panels in strategic places in the room, all for your listening pleasure. Phase two was the construction of the new stage, and it's right behind me. It is completed and it is a beauty. Phase three, we upgraded the sound systems. We have a new mixing board, digital. We can record from that. We can live stream from that mixing board. We have new monitors, new speakers, and it is something to behold. Phase four is the lighting of the space, and we have new stage lights, which will be installed as we speak. So we have almost completed this project, but we still need your help to help us get over the hump. So go to ssumc.com, St. Stephen's United Methodist Church website, ssumc.com, and contribute to this awesome project. We thank you in advance for your generosity. We could use a donation of $500. If you could do that, we would appreciate that. God bless you. And again, thank you for your spirit of generosity. My name is Jesse Dompre, and I'm the director of the Coffee House Ministry and your host for this week's Solid Grounds. Now, at Solid Grounds, music is always the food of love, and we coming to us for the first time, making his debut appearance is Scott Sean White. Scott Sean White is from Poetry, Texas, but he has made his home in Nashville and Texas. So he's coming to us. He's a singer, songwriter, and he dabbles in country music, believe it or not, R&B and hip hop. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Scott White to the East Solid Ground stage, and and just sit back and let him take you on this musical exploration. Take it away, Scott.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Scott Sean White, and I'd like to thank Solid Grounds Coffee House and St. Stephen's United Methodist Church for inviting me to join y'all. I am a songwriter who lives in Poetry, Texas. That's right. I'm a songwriter who lives in Poetry. And I split my time between here and Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a staff writer there. And I'm going to play you some songs that I wrote today. Thanks for having me. This one is called Dad's Garage and Mama's Kitchen. It'll be on this record that I'm working on right now. It'll be out next year. I wrote this with Helene Cronin. One bare light bulb hanging from the rafters, the smell of motor oil, sawdust and sweat, hot rod engines, hammers and wrenches, old spare parts, and spare time well spent. But it's 6 o'clock, and not a minute after, the supper's ready, call come through the back door screen. Baby's crying, the sizzle of something frying, and Grandma's chiding if we had some company. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across the yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, it was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen, just an old pine workbench, an old oak dinner table, where we talk pickups, pot roast, politics, and Jesus. Most of our problems back then we could solve with some grit, a little grace, and a lot of grease. From Dad's garage to Mama's kitchen, might have been just a couple steps apart. You couldn't find two worlds more different than that short walk across the yard. But between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, it was always something needed fixing. In Dad's garage and Mama's kitchen, between carburetors and casseroles, broken hearts and fishing poles, there was always something needed fixing. There was always someone there to listen, to pass a 5/8 and pass a chicken. In Dad's garage, in Mama's kitchen. Yes, Dad's garage and Mama's kitchen. In the wonderful and amazing Walt Wilkins was kind enough to sing harmony on that for me on my record. My record, the album is going to be called Call It Even, and it only happened because of COVID. COVID stopped everything. I didn't have any gigs. I didn't have any trips to Nashville to write. And so I decided I had time to work on this record. I had been talking about recording, but never making any real plans to do it, because I didn't know when I was going to have time. This song here I wrote with Barrett Baber and Terry Joe Box. It's called God Bless the Boy. For all the daddies and daughters out there. She won't let me help her tie her shoes. No, daddy, I can do it myself. When she don't get her way, she'll cross her arms and hold her breath. She's a handful, she's a mess, digging in the dirt in a princess dress. Goes from tiny tornado to sleeping on my chest. God bless the boy that melts the way I do when she smiles at him the first time that we've done Give him patience and kindness and a heart that's full of her, and the sense to know what she's worth. 'Cause ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy she decides to love. Hope his daddy's teaching him how to shake my hand, look me in the eye, taking him fishing and busting his butt when he ain't acting right. Hope he's in every prayer his mama says, learns to work for every dollar he gets, and has a sense of humor, gonna need it for a girl like this. God bless the boy that melts the way I do. She smiles at him the first time he'll be done, and he'll be through. Give him patience and kindness and a heart that's full of her, and the sense to know what she's worth. 'Cause ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy she decides to love. God bless the boy that melts the way I do, when she smiles at him the first time we're done, yeah, he'll be through. Give him patience and kindness and a heart that's full of her, and the sense to know what she's worth. 'Cause ain't nobody ever gonna be good enough. So God bless the boy. Oh, God bless the boy. God bless the boy she decides to love. Barrett Baber, that I wrote that with Terry Joe, he's got a daughter. She was 3 at the time when we wrote that song. And I have 2 daughters. They are 30 and 27 now. And so all that figured into that song. That was Barrett's idea. He was upstairs right before we were writing in his house. And he was upstairs right before that trying to get her ready for daycare. And as he tells the story, he was trying to tell her that she couldn't wear high heels to daycare. And at some point in the process of all that, he goes, God bless the boy. And that was right before he was about to walk downstairs and right with Terry Joe and me. So he came downstairs and he said, hey, how about a song about my daughter called God Bless the Boy? And that will not be on my album because, and don't tell anybody this secret, but somebody famous has recorded that song. So we are very thankful, and it should be, Lord willing, it'll be on an album that's coming out next year, and Lord willing, and a whole bunch of prayers, it'll be on your radio in the next, I don't know, year or 2 maybe, if we, if everything falls exactly right. That'd be pretty cool. Once again, thank you to Solid Grounds Coffee House for having me, and St. Stephen's United Methodist Church. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Every chance to play during COVID has been great. These things have been different, but still great. This is another Helene Cronin co-write. She's brilliant. Check her out. It will be on my album. And Tina Wilkins sang harmony on this song for me. It's called Humankind. He's an old man, a hard man, who can't hold on to nothing. Not his razor, not his temper, not his tongue. She's a young nurse, a sweet girl, who comes in every morning, makes his bed, shaves his face, cleans him up. She's been there 3 years now, ain't seen a one of his kids ever come around. So she drives in on his Sundays off to play a game of gin and take him for a walk. And for a little while he forgets to be mad. He remembers how to tell a joke and make a pretty girl laugh. The hurt goes away and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. She's a new kid in a new town for the 3rd time in 2 years, and high school can be cruel when you're different. He can tell when she walks in, she's a trust nobody who could use a friend. He takes a seat beside her no one wants to take, and in the lunchroom, that's a pretty big thing. And for a little while, she forgets to be scared. She remembers for a minute what it's like to fit in somewhere. The hurt goes away and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. It don't take much to help someone, to save someone. 'Cause for a little while we forget to give up. We remember what it's like when someone walks this road with us. The hurt goes away and the lonely fades with just a smile and the gift of a little time. Nothing eases human pain like human kind. There you go, one of my favorite songs. My name has ever been on. Thank you, Helene Cronin, for bringing that idea to me. It was her idea. She had seen a hashtag on the internet. You may have seen them. They say hashtag humankind. And it's mostly like videos of random acts of kindness. And it's awesome. But she saw that one day, I don't know, two and a half years ago. And said, hey, do you want to write that? I said, oh, most definitely. So I'm going to play you, this seems to be like Helene Cronin and Barrett Baber, Terry Joe Box Day, for no particular reason. I'm going to play you a song that I wrote with Barrett Baber and Terry Joe Box, that I wrote God Bless the Boy with. This song won't be on my record either because it is in danger of being on somebody famous's record, and we don't want to mess with that. I'll tell you the story behind this song real quick. Barrett was on The Voice, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. He got 3rd. And he's from Arkansas, so he blew up real big in Arkansas. So he's playing a bunch of shows in Arkansas after The Voice, you know. And one weekend he played in, I think, Marion, Arkansas. And that was a Saturday night. And Sunday they were driving back on the tour bus, and he told his his road manager who was driving the bus, as they drove around this corner, and they saw the steeple off in the distance, and it was it was the church where Barrett's dad preached for 15 years while Barrett was growing up. And Barrett told his tour manager, the only thing that's been in that church more than me all these years is that old piano. And if they ever sell it, I'm going to buy it. And now it's Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, as the Lord would have it. He had a writing appointment with me and Terry Joe Box. And he walked in and said he wanted to write a song about that piano, all the things that he'd played for funerals and baptisms and weddings. And of course, we love that. And he had this title, Piano for Sale. Piano for sale, the best offer, printed underneath the weekly prayer list. It's my first time back in this church in forever, but I'll take it no matter how much that is. It's just a beat up, upright old banger, made of maple and brown sugar pine. But there's pieces of me in those ivory keys, and every song that's ever changed my life, 'cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I learned I could sing. Just as I am on the day I believed. Oh, here comes the bride when she walked down to me. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale. So never told anybody about all those nights when I'd sneak in and play honky-tonk songs, or all my white guys and empty church confessions. So load it up, I'm taking it all home, 'cause it played Yes, Jesus Loves Me when I didn't feel love, just as I am when I wasn't good enough. Oh, here comes the bride, the best day of my life. It is well with my soul when we let mama go. Piano for sale. So it is well with my soul. Oh, and sing me back home. Piano for sale. Sold. Sold. I'm gonna do one more song for you here real quick. This song will be on my record, and it is called Famous. Sometimes I call it the Wild Wild West version of the gospel. quite simply, this is kind of how I see Jesus. Except for the tuning part, I apologize. Only tune because I care. Thank you for putting up with that. It goes like this. Imagine you're back in the wild, wild west. You're standing in the gallows, a rope around your neck. You'll be hanging for something, there ain't no doubt you did. When a man out in the crowd says, take me instead. And you don't know why, but they let him. Why did they let him? Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? Now imagine you're walking down some old dirt road. A few days later, your heart's just broke. You'd give anything, yeah, anything, to see him one more time, to thank him. Then you look up and he's by your side, and he's walking and talking and breathing. Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? If something like that ever happened to me, I'd follow that man wherever he leads. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you tell everyone about that guy and what he did that day? Wouldn't you spend every minute, the rest of your life, making his name famous? Thank you very much, y'all. I am Scott Sean White. You can go to my website, scottshawnwhite.com. Follow me on Facebook. Thank you to Solid Grounds Coffee House and the St. Stephen's United Methodist Church. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Well, thank you so much, Scott, for such a wonderful musical experience. What an extraordinary performance. Hey, stay well, be safe, and hopefully, when this space opens up, we would be in touch with you. We want you to come to Albuquerque to perform from this new stage. Again, thank you, and God bless. Well, it's time for the message. Time for a couple of humor. Uh, excuse me. The title of this humor is Sins of Omission. Sins of Omission. So the Sunday school teacher asked her class, what do we mean when we say sins of omission? A small girl raised her hand and replied, are those the sins that we should have committed but didn't? From the mouths of babes, huh? Yeah. The second humor has to do with the speeding ticket. Title of speeding ticket. So I was speeding, going very fast to get to my parents' house at 90 miles per hour when I was pulled over by a lady cop. When she comes over to the car, and I looked up, and she says, "Young man, speeding? I've been waiting for you for a long time." And I said calmly, "Officer, sorry for being late, but I got here as fast as I could." May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. Well, in the midst of all the menaces and threats of today's world, we need something to hold on to. We need some hope. We need to connect with the material of hope. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So, in the midst of this, we need to look in the midst of our trials and tribulations. It's important that we hold on to hope. Otherwise, we will not accomplish what we set out to accomplish. So, I want to share this devotion with you. It's a story. It took place in 1994. At the 1994 Winter Olympics, held in Hamar, Norway, the name Dan took on a very special meaning. At his first Olympics in 1984, as an 18-year-old, Dan Jensen finished fourth in the 500 meters, beating for a bronze medal by only 16 one hundredths of a second. And he finished 16th in the 1,000 meters race. At his second Olympics in Calgary in 1988, on the morning he was to skate the 500 meters, he received a phone call from America. His 27-year-old sister, Jane, had been fighting leukemia for over a year. She was dying. Dan spoke to her over the phone, but she was too sick to say anything in return. Their brother Mike relayed Jane's message. She wanted Dan to race for her. Before Dan skated that afternoon, however, he received the news that Jane had died. When he took to the ice, perhaps he tried too hard for his sister. In the 500 meters, he slipped and fell in the first turn. He had never fallen before in a race. 4 days later, in the 1,000, he fell again, this time, of all places, in the straightaway. At his third Olympics in 1992, he was expected to win the 500 meters, where he had already set world records. For 4 years, he had been regarded as the best sprinter in the world, but he had trouble in the final turn and he finished fourth. In the 1,000, he tried for 26th. At his fourth Olympics in 1994, Dan again was expected to win in the 500 meters, which was his specialty. Again, tragedy struck. He didn't fall, but in the beginning of the final turn, he fleetingly lost control of his left skate and put his hand down, showing him just enough to finish in eighth place. Afterward, he apologized to his hometown of Milwaukee. He had one race left, the 1,000 meter, one more race, and then he would retire. At the midway point of the race, the clock showed he was skating at a world record pace, and the crowd, including his wife and father, cheered. But with 200 meters to go, the hearts of the fans skipped a beat. Dan Jensen slipped. He didn't fall, but he slipped, touched his hand to the ice, regained control, and kept skating. When Dan crossed the finish line, he looked at the scoreboard and saw WR beside his name. World record. In his last race, Dan Jensen had finally won the gold medal. Later that day, as he stood on the award stand, Dan looked heavenward, acknowledging his late sister, Jane. Jensen was asked to skate a victory lap. The lights were turned out, and a single spotlight illuminated Dan's last lap around the Olympic track with a gold medal around his neck, roses in one arm, and his baby daughter, named Jane, in his other arm. In the crossing ceremony of the 1994 Olympics, Dan Jensen was chosen to carry the U.S. flag. Late in the afternoon of February 18, 1994, said rider Philip Hirsch, after Jensen had won the gold medal that eluded him in 7 previous races over 4 Olympics and a decade, someone put a hand-lettered sign in the snow on the side of the main road from Lillehammer to Hamar. The sign said simply, Dan. It spoke volumes about what the world thought about the man whose Olympic futility had finally ended in triumph. Sometimes a name alone says it all. So, in the midst of this socioeconomic, political, racial upheaval, it is important for us to recapture and hold fast to the New Testament. The New Testament call for us to hold on to the God of hope. The God is hope. Coming from Romans chapter 15, verse 13. God is the material of hope, and hope is what we need to accomplish all the things we need to accomplish in our life. Hope, according to Martin Luther, is the ingredient for all the accomplishments in the world. Let us pray. Eternal God, you art holiness and might and the material of hope. So we come to you because we realize that you are our creator and our maker and our source of hope. Open our eyes that we may see the needs of others. Open our ears that we may hear their cries. Open our hearts that it may go without. Help us to defend the poor and uh, in the midst of the anger of of the rich. Help us to defend the weak in the midst of the anger of the strong. Help us to build wholesome relationships and to become the builders of the bridge of love and service, that ultimately we become the bridges of reconciliation, that we would not lose hope, that we'll fix our eyes on the prize of higher calling which is in Christ Jesus. And we shall declare that you are the waymaker, the miracle worker, the promise keeper, the light in the darkness. And we'll do all this in the name of the Christ who taught us to pray in this manner. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Solid grounds, you're welcome here. Solid grounds, come in and share the best music, Joe, and ministry around. Solid grounds, you're welcome here. Solid grounds, come in and share. Solid grounds.